I'll admit I left you all on a bit of a cliffhanger last time. Through a happy confluence of factors, I had found myself at the door to Oxford's labyrinth library shelves, and I was holding the key. Again, if you want to watch the last episode, you should click above. And if you want to just start from the beginning, you should click above now. But for now, let's go back to me, about to enter the vast tunnels beneath Oxford's Bodleian Library. The tunnel's russet lights were barely bright enough for me to read the signs of the bookshelves. Checking them against the book number that I jotted down on a scrap of paper, I wound through passages and down staircases, my shoes echoing off the stone floor. I thought of all the countless people who had also walked these very passages, the ghosts who had come before me. Ghosts. Not a good word to be mulling over alone in the dark. But I tried shaking those thoughts and checked that jotted number again. Okay, I was in GR 3006 and the number seemed to be increasing. So that must mean if I turn 5 minutes later, I was still no closer to the right section. Wondering if I'd somehow skipped a section, I stopped for a while to stave off the panic. I was in this weird little anteroom. It seemed to be the place where the university stashed its unsortable junk. There were fake trees, old dictionaries, and this dusty ping pong table that had some boxes shoved beneath it. Wiping the sweat from my forehead, I took off my coat and leaned against that table's edge. The ping pong table snapped right down the middle, sending me crashing into the boxes below it. After the dust settled, I whipped my head around. Part of me was afraid I'd summoned the labyrinth's minotaur. Then, dusting off my jeans, I checked the damage. I'd landed on some old tin container the size of an apple crate. The lid looked a little dented, so I took it off to make sure it wasn't jammed. Inside the tin was a note on some old, crumpled piece of paper. The note said, and I quote, "The so-called Kosmosa Chronicle of Sir Alfred Lemon of Cornwall, presented to the university in 1915. Never translated." Alfred Lemon. I knew that name. As a boy, the unexplained fascinated me. You can probably tell that from the rest of this channel. I devoted entire bookshelves to everything from Nessie to Bigfoot to the Bermuda Triangle. During my Atlantis phase, one of my books featured Sir Alfred Lemon. The name stuck in my memory because it was so funny. I pictured the Cornish aristocrat, his face puckered like he was eating a lemon, elucidating his crackpot theories. That's right. Even when I was a child, I thought this dude was nuts. The manuscript within this tin had hundreds of pages, maybe thousands. Every page was aged and yellow and the ink was fading. And what's more, that ink didn't show normal letters. Instead, the characters were wild swirls, squiggles, and curlicues. A code. A century earlier, Sir Alfred Lemon himself had scribbled a secret message on the very pages I was holding. This boyish corner of my brain started singing for joy. At that moment, I realized something about myself. I no longer had any desire to find that T.S. Eliot book. I'd probably done enough research for that paper anyway. My final paper would still be good or good enough. Whatever. It didn't really seem to matter at the moment. Here's what actually mattered. I was holding in my hands an actual code written by the actual Sir Alfred Lemon. This code contained some actual secret, and I was actually gonna solve it. And that's all for today's Kosmosa Chronicle. In the next episode, I'll tell you what I actually did with the manuscript after I found it. In the meantime, if you want to find the book that I turned the manuscript into, you can pre-order Red Rex using the link in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.